Well, there's some emotions right there. Let's see how they get started. The first emotions that come in an infant's life. Newborns really exhibit only one emotion at first, and that is a negative one, distress. I don't like what's going on here. I don't like that I feel hungry. I don't like that that light is so bright. I don't like something, and I will show in my face and in my voice my distress. Not too far after that, though, come real emotions. You might say these are the basic primary emotions as developed by Ekman. This is one way of classifying emotions at the basic level. You might look at these as maybe, for the most part, the reptilian brain's emotions. For instance, anger, disgust, fear, happiness, sadness, surprise. Those are your basic emotions. Those are the primary emotions. Now, a little bit after that, we as individuals start developing what are called secondary emotions. Subtleties, shall we say. Secondary emotions are shades and combinations of the basic emotions. Well, let's play a little game here, for instance. Let's say that feeling hurt is a combination of sad and angry at the same time. I don't know what percentages you would assign to that. You're playing the game at home, and you decide, is feeling hurt more sad than angry or vice versa? But you get the idea. Let's play it again. Worried. When you're worried, it's really a combination of sadness and fear. Because remember, you're worried about something that hasn't happened yet. So you're fearful, but at the same time, kind of sad. So you play those two off against each other, assign percentages to them that come up to 100%, and you have worried. Okay, here's one more example. Curious. What is curious? To feel curious is to be happy and surprised at the same time. It's, you might say, you're anticipating a surprise, happily anticipating a surprise. Because when you're curious, usually you're not curious in a dreaded kind of way. Usually it's a happy anticipation. So if you look at, and you might want to go check out a chart, because different researchers have created charts of the basic and then the secondary emotions. And you can look at these charts, which cover the whole gamut of all the kinds of emotions that people feel, and you can see how some of them really are a combination of two or maybe sometimes even three of the basic emotions, and in different combinations and in different percentages. Oh, one more, huh? Okay, startled. Startled is surprise plus fear. In other words, whereas curious, you were kind of in a happy mood to explore something, startled by something, suddenly you're getting surprised, all right, but it brings up a fear response at the same time. And that's not so pleasant, right? So again, assign your percentages and compare answers with each other. But you get the idea that as children develop and as they experience more and more events and have more and more interactions with other people and the environment, secondary emotions start coming about and again being filed away in these file folders, and you start getting these subtleties and shadings of emotion. Also, one last thing about these secondary emotions. Because they are often based on interactions with people and the environment, then it means that the secondary emotions will often carry social implications. So we call them social emotions. Emotions such as embarrassment, empathy. You know, when you're completely alone and you know nobody's looking, how could you be embarrassed? Especially if you're a very young child. But with people around, you can feel embarrassment. With people around, you can feel empathy, social emotions. And so even there, that starts off at a pretty primary level, and then over time and experience, social emotions grow, develop, and get all sorts of fine shadings. So that's an introduction to the beginnings of the emotional life of children that carries all the way up into adulthood. And you might want to do supplemental readings to see how different theorists have organized these things in different ways, and look at some fun charts to see how they've organized and described these, especially these secondary and social emotions.